Hello viewers, and welcome to Exploring Cinema with Brian Meadows. I, of course, am Brian. Today's review is on the newest Edgar Wright film, Baby Driver. Baby Driver tells the story of a young getaway driver who goes by the name of Baby. He suffers from tinnitus, ringing in his ears. And to help alleviate the pain, he listens to music constantly. He always has earbuds in. And it just follows him trying to get out of a life of crime, but things are happening during the film that keep him from actually getting away from it. And Denzel Elgort, who we all know from Fault in Our Stars as Augustus Waters, the male lead, plays Baby in this film, and he is fantastic in this film. I gotta tell you, oh my god, I've seen him before. I always like him in everything that I've seen him in, not including the Divergent series, but then again, nobody's really good in the Divergent series. But he is just so entertaining off the bat. In a way, I didn't really recognize him. He talked in a different way. He didn't really give too many words. He mostly acted through his facial features. And just whenever he's listening to music, he's just got this peppiness about him. And just whenever it's just him in a scene and he's just listening to music, he's just dancing to it. It's amazing. I think this is his best performance to date. Lily James plays Deborah, a young waitress at a 50s diner who Baby gets feelings for and actually grows to love. And he actually wants to get out of life of crime, mostly to be with her. James gives the best performance that I have personally ever seen her in. I've loved her ever since I saw her play Cinderella in the live-action remake for Disney. And like I said, I think this is her best role. I absolutely loved her in this. She was She seemed in the trailers like she was going to be a stereotypical southern sweet girl, but there was way more to her. And just when she shows up, you can just see that Baby has not been happy in years, and they immediately grow a connection. One of my favorite parts of the movie was, even though they don't show it too much, was their chemistry. The wonderful Kevin Spacey plays Doc, who is Baby's boss. It's not really explained who he is, but honestly, we get enough from just their dialogue and everything to where, me personally, I didn't need to know who exactly he was, but he goes by the name Doc as a code name. And it's Kevin Spacey. He's fucking great. There are a few more cast members that I absolutely loved in here, but I want to talk specifically about two of them. First, we have Jamie Foxx as Bats and Jon Hamm as Buddy. From what we see in the trailers, Jamie Foxx's character Bats is obviously that he seems like that stereotypical gang member who just wants to kill everybody and is really just impulsive. But as you get to see, he is actually smarter than he thinks, but he is actually just, he loves shooting people, and he was honestly the most entertaining of the gang, simply from a humor standpoint, because even though he is eccentric, his humor does come off as a bit dry, and I love that aspect. And then we have Jon Hamm playing Buddy, and holy crap, I've loved him ever since I saw him play Don Draper. Sorry, my mind's really racing after this movie. He plays Don Draper in the AMC show Mad Men, and Mallory recently got me into it. We're almost done with the show, in fact. I think we got like one season left. But getting back to the actual movie, he is fantastic in this movie. He doesn't have too much humor with him, but I felt like he was one of the most relatable characters, and he has some of the most badass moments. I would even say that he has the most badass moments. The film was not only directed by Edgar Wright, he also wrote the story, and I absolutely love this story. This was one of the most entertaining stories that I've seen all year. And one thing that I loved about it, because we already know that Baby loves music, and he uses music to drown out the ringing in his ears. I didn't realize just how much the story would revolve around music. It was almost... How do I describe this? Okay, this film had the best use of music since Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm talking about soundtrack-wise. And I can't go into it anymore without giving spoilers, but just trust me, this is one of the best uses of soundtracks in a movie that I've seen in the past maybe decade or so. There's a lot of aspects of this film that seem paint by numbers, and there were actually beats where I was actually predicting what was going to happen next, but then they flip on it. Like, either I would predict something, and it would happen somewhat like what I guessed, but there would... one little detail would change to where it would change everything, or I was completely wrong. This film actually did have me guessing after a while, where was this gonna go? And of course, the action in this film. I mean, there's not too much shooting and whatnot, like that kind of action. It's mostly just car chases. The car chases are amazing in this film. I can't even think of how to say it, because, like I said, my mind is just racing because of how excited I got just watching this movie, and how much I was just in tune with everything that was going on. Baby Driver has beautiful cinematography as well. Like, it felt a bit different from a couple of the Edgar Wright films that I've seen, especially, I still think that Scott Pilgrim, in a way, is his best looking film, simply because of how over the top it is with the references and just the visual effects in that movie. But honestly, this is a close second, and you can still feel the Edgar Wright-isms in there. And as I said with the music, it does rely heavily on a soundtrack, although there is a bit of a score, but honestly, it blended so well together, I couldn't find half the time where it started and where it ended sometimes. And one thing that I do have to point out about the music, and I love this, but a couple of times during the film, whenever there's gunfire, they're actually in time. The shots are in time with the beats of the music, and I've never seen it done before to that level of perfection. I honestly hope that what I just gave you is coherent enough, because just my mind's racing. I probably said that multiple times, I don't even know. But to recap, Baby Driver is actually one of my favorite movies of this year. It's probably number 2 right after Logan. You know what, yeah, it's number 2. This is my number 2 movie of the year so far. And holy shit, it has amazing, just amazing Oscar-worthy performances from all of the main cast, all like 5 or 6 of them, and beautiful cinematography, a great story that just kept me guessing over and over again, a great chemistry between the 2 main leads, Baby and Debbie, just, oh my god. And to top it off, the best use of soundtrack music that I've seen since Guardians of the Galaxy. And this goes without saying, Baby Driver earns a blue lightsaber. Again, I hope I was coherent enough during this video, but thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble, stutter, and just basically lose my mind over this movie. Anyway, what did you guys think of Baby Driver? Did you love it? Hate it? Were you indifferent about it? You haven't seen it yet? What were its strengths? What were its weaknesses? Please, I want to know. I welcome new perspectives. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already for more reviews and content. There is always more to come. And for other ways to help support the channel, please check out in the description down below. Thank you guys once again for watching, and farewell until the next video. Bye.